Hi, y'all. It's Manda, and welcome back to the Whole 40 Life, where we are pursuing wholeness spiritually, mentally, and physically. So, today we are talking about self care, specifically how not to do self care. And before we get into that, let me tell y'all that part of the reason that I have not been on here, I have not recorded any videos in several weeks because of my own self care. So, part of my self care is not putting pressure on myself to do all the things. And you know what I mean when I say all the things. And one of the things on that list today is my hair. So instead of stressing myself out to do a whole wash day and hairstyle, and part of that is I got a new wig in the mail yesterday. So I have an idea, but I didn't have time to do that along with all the other things I plan to do today. Today became a very nice self-care day for me. Now, this is before I get into the video. I'm just going to tell y'all about my self-care day. So my mother-in-law said she was open to keeping my daughter a couple of hours. My husband's at work, and I can't get a whole lot of self-care done with the almost 3 year old here. She's great. She's a great sidekick, but she's not all about the self-care. For me, anyway. She's about self-care for her. But so my daughter's with my mother-in-law. And y'all, I got my eyebrows done. I got my nails done. I got my feet done. I had a latte. Mm, mm, mm. I'm still having a latte, actually. But yeah, so I had a self-care day today. The topic today we're going to talk about is how not to do self-care. There's a lot of people talking about how to do self-care. You can find out how to do self-care. And there's been a lot of talk about self-care and mental health awareness. A lot of that is going around. We have all the stories about Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, and all that's great. But I want to talk about how not to do self-care. So one way is to not do it for other people. So let's not do self-care for other people, y'all. Everybody's heard the saying, you can't take care of other people if you don't take care of you. And that's true. But I don't want us to focus on the fact that we're doing it for other people. I want you to take care of you because you care about you. You care enough about yourself to take care of yourself. I'm speaking to myself too. I need to, I'm looking at Amanda. Amanda with the Supermom t-shirt on. Thank you, Shamika, for the shirt. But yeah, I'm looking at me. Amanda needs to care enough about Amanda to take care of Amanda. You need to take care of yourself, practice self-care for you because you are worth that, because you are priceless. You are a treasure. You are a treasure. You need to take care of you because of you, because you wanna be a good steward of your own body, of your own wellness. You want to be the best you can be. So yeah, that's number one, is don't do it for other people. Let's not do self-care that way, y'all, because that motivation, honestly, it fades. For me anyway, it fades. When I can think about it a lot, like I want to be healthy for my daughter, I can think about it. That's a desire, but it doesn't always materialize into to me practicing self-care. A lot of times we know what it turns into, me wanting to, do things for my daughter, wanting to feel better and be better for my daughter. It turns into the opposite. It turns into me doing more for her, sacrificing more of me for her. And of course, you're supposed to sacrifice for your children, but when you try to take care of yourself for your children, it just doesn't work the same way. The sacrifice part works fine. So what I have to focus on is self-care, caring for Amanda for Amanda. That's what I have to do. I have to be selfish in that way. And I feel good about it today, y'all. I feel good. I love my baby, but I feel good today being in here by myself in this house. I'm never in here by myself. I'm never by myself. Anyway, that's number one. Don't do it for other people. Number two is don't detach from reality or forget your feelings to do self-care. What I mean by that is, a lot of times people They unplug from everything and everybody, and they unplug from their own feelings. They just, check out, veg out on, whatever they're on, veg out in front of the TV. That's self-care. Or they meditate and clear their mind, forget about everything for an hour. I encourage you not to just jump into the clearing your mind part. I encourage you to move through some things. So instead of detaching from your feelings, deal with them. So feel them, validate them. That's the therapist coming out of me. But what I mean is that if you spend 5 minutes thinking negative thoughts, spend 10 counting your blessings. And so instead of forgetting or trying to push out of your mind all your negative thoughts, all the things that are on your mind, I encourage you to speak truth to lies and encouragement to the things that are discouraging you. If I was in a session, I would tell somebody to start a thought change chart where they write down their thoughts that they want to change. If a negative thought comes in during the day, to write that down, and then beside it, write down a more accurate thought or a more positive thought. But who has time to do a chart, right on a piece of paper when, you're overwhelmed and you just want to check, you just want to have a moment to breathe, or you just want to, watch Blacklist for 2 hours and eat a fruit and nut bar. That's me. I know that's weird. I like Cadbury fruit and nut bars. But what I'm saying is, don't just push your feelings to the side. Deal with your feelings. Validate your feelings. And I don't think I'm gonna do a whole video on speaking truth to lies and encouragement to discouragement. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that video. The last thing I'm gonna talk about today is, don't do self-care as an afterthought. Don't do it as an afterthought. You have to plan for it. You have to plan for self-care, or it's not gonna happen. For a lot of us, for some people, if that's the way your life is set up, the self-care, it just happens. You just it just kind of fits in here and there. It's, you have a rhythm about it and you don't really plan it. But even people who don't plan for it because it's part of their routine. So once it's part of your routine, you may not have to plan as much. Like for me, I have to plan it because, if I'm talking to one of my sisters or talking to my husband about how long it's been since I had my nails done or my hair done, or how I need to do this or that, they're like, well, why haven't you done it? And it's because I haven't made time for it. I haven't planned for it. My husband is big on this. He's always like, tell me when you want to do it. You can do all these things you want to do. Let me know when. It's not his responsibility to plan my self-care. I have to take responsibility for my own self. That goes back to number one. Don't do it for other people. Do it for yourself. And one of the things I've been doing is reading this book, The Whole Life, not affiliated with my channel at all, but these are friends of mine, Eliza Huey and Esther Smith, who wrote The Whole Life, 52 Weeks of Biblical Self-Care. And this book has been blessing my life. I actually didn't mean to close it up. I was wanting to talk about this part that got all in my business about the physical life, because y'all know here at the Whole 40 Life, we're talking about wholeness spiritually, mentally, and physically as you get up there in age. And so this was all in my business. It says, we don't see skipping meals, avoiding exercise, or neglecting healthy amounts of sleep as a problem. I said, they may as well have put my name in this book and said, Amanda, you don't see this as a problem, but it is. It says, this sends a message that the only thing that matters is our spiritual health. And I'm big on a lot of prayer and a lot of churching. But it says, Jesus doesn't ignore the needs of the body. Well, shut the front door. I said, that's why this book and these ladies are in my life. Because I need to be confronted about how I don't take care of these things. And that's why I'm so glad that I'm doing this channel, because y'all, this channel is just as much for me as it is for y'all. You all are my accountability partners in this thing, because I'm not talking about self-care and healthy relationships and all the things that I plan to talk about on the channel. I'm not talking about those things just for everybody else. It's for me too. I need the whole 40 life for myself. I'm 41. I'm endeavoring to have a whole life wholeness in all these areas. I skip meals. I avoid exercise. I neglect healthy amounts of sleep. So, I mean, they may as well have said, "Man, you was in sin, girl. Get it together." That's not what they're saying. Y'all don't nobody say that Amanda said you in sin if you ain't getting enough sleep. Please, please don't say that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's some things I need to get in order. And in order to do that, I have to plan for self-care. Not self-care. I think self-care. Self-care. So, in conclusion, don't do self-care for other people. Don't detach from reality or forget your feelings when you're doing self-care. And don't do self-care as an afterthought. Plan for it. I want to also repeat again with regard to not detaching from your feelings and reality. I want to repeat again, speak truth to lies and encouragement to discouragement. And I'm going to do a whole video on that. So until next time, I have been here, your host for the Whole 40 Life. I don't know. I've been Manda for the Whole 40 Life. And I'll see y'all next time. I have been Manda. Of course, I've been Manda. Who else am I going to be? Y'all know that song? All day long, I have been with Jesus all day long. I have been with me all day long.